Hi, I'm Dr. Sharif Taraman. I have the pleasure of having our abstract winners join us on stage. I have 4 abstract winners that are going to do 2 minutes presentations. We're going to hold questions, so if you have questions, you can catch them afterwards and meet with them and ask them all about their fantastic ideas. Our first abstract winner is Julia Heaton from the University of San Diego.
Hello. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Julia Heaton, and to get started, I have a question for all of you. Have you or someone you know ever gone in for a quick checkup or some sort of procedure, and then a few weeks later or a few months later, you come back and you have this huge medical bill that totally surprises you? Yeah. So what if instead there was a way that before you even entered that office or before you even had that procedure, you knew the cost? Recently, there's been a big push to have price transparency in healthcare through legislation. So what I'm proposing is a platform in which people can submit the cost of their care, and we have a Yelp equivalent for healthcare. Now, the platform would collect data on a variety of metrics. Number 1, starting with the price. 2, the services provided. 3, the location. So whether that be a walk-in clinic, an inpatient setting, an outpatient setting, an urgent care, etc. Now, in one setting, you could go and have a procedure and it's X amount of dollars. And then a few miles up the road, it's double the cost. Other future considerations could account for the quality and patient reviews. And ultimately, what this comes down to is healthcare is a business. And if we want to change that and empower patients to be knowledgeable about the costs that they are spending on their medical care, then this platform is an excellent opportunity to do so. In the future, this is not only creating a body of patients to become proactive in seeking out their health, but this will also help lower the costs with competition and overall improve the quality of care. Thank you.
Next, we have Andrew Ballas from the University of California, San Diego.
Hello, I'm Andrew. Today I would like to talk about an innovative application called RIFT, or Rounding Information Functional Tracker. This application essentially promotes family-centered rounding, and the concern here is that patients often see a variety of different specialties that round at different times, so they receive incongruent information on their plan of care. So this application works by using existing technology from handoff for physicians and looking at when these physicians are in a similar area in the hospital. And so when they are in a similar area, we can have them round together. And these multidisciplinary rounds are important because they provide a unified approach for the families and allow the physicians to coordinate their care. So let's say you have a patient with a neurological disorder, and they're also being seen by neurosurgery, GI, and general pediatrics. With RIFT, we can tell these 4 specialties that they have a complicated patient, and RIFT will identify a time where all 4 specialties are in the hospital at the same time, and they will be suggested a time to go to that patient and round together. Another useful addition to RIFT is that it would implement geolocation in the hospital. So any hospital with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi would be able to see when a physician accesses their device and where they're at in the hospital. This way, a physician could be notified that they are in close proximity to, say, a neurosurgeon, and they could both round on the patient at the same time at the same location. So essentially, this application uses current technology, geolocation, and smart-based rules to create a cohesive care plan for the family. Thank you.
I'd like to also introduce Alicia Steffens from University of Pacific.
So I'd like to begin with a hypothetical scenario. You're a patient in the hospital and you press your nurse call button in response to pain. But when your nurse receives the ping, there's really no way to tell if this is truly an emergency or you just want another pudding cup. So this scenario reveals one of many opportunities to increase communication between patients and providers. My solution is called AMI. AMI is based on the French word for friend, ami, and with the A and I capitalized, artificial intelligence. AMI is an artificial intelligence-equipped, friendly voice assistant embedded within a plush teddy bear. Using Amazon Alexa technology, AMI strives to do 3 things. Number 1, provide an interactive nurse call button feature. So when you ask for something or a request, your nurse can respond with an estimated time of arrival or any follow-up information. Second, to record questions for providers. Sometimes when you're in the hospital, the best questions come at the worst times. And so when the physicians finally come on unscheduled rounds, you completely forget what you were going to say. AMI would solve this problem by recording questions. And third, I think patients should be able to self-direct their in-room functions and entertainment, age appropriate, of course. This would save time for busy healthcare providers as well. In addition, in light of Amazon Alexa's newest skill, HIPAA compliance, and different pilot programs going on at institutions like Cedars-Sinai, I believe that there are different advancements that can be added on with the integration of the electronic medical record. In conclusion, I want to empower patients with AMI in order to better communication between patients and providers, as well as let patients be more involved in their personal health care. Thank you.
And our last abstract winner is Eric Shihab from Stanford, now at Novonate.
Hi, everyone. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Novonate. You heard a little bit about our story in developing LifeBubble this morning through Dr. James Wall. But I'm here representing basically a small team that spun out of Stanford Biodesign a couple years ago, a group of engineers and physicians that are really passionate about solving problems in neonatal care. We together realized that umbilical catheters are one of the only central lines in the entire hospital that are not physically protected in any way. They're kind of just left exposed to the outside environment, prone to accidental touching by nurses, caregivers, parents who are encouraged to hold their baby. And they migrate at a pretty high rate as well, anywhere from 25% to 2/3 of the time. So we developed a small silicone device for the last couple years called LifeBubble. This is it here. You saw a small picture of it this morning. It sits on the tip of my finger. It's a silicone device that comes packaged sterile that sits over the umbilical catheter stump interface to protect it from various sources of touching it by, again, nurses, caregivers, parents. It also secures the line mechanically, so it's a little bit more robust to heat and humidity, where babies are frequently in incubators, whereas before they're just secured with tape that can break down. We've been developing this alongside NICU nurses, as James alluded to this morning. Big part of our design process was indeed interviewing and getting feedback on our prototypes from NICU nurses. Now that we've launched it a few months ago, we haven't stopped doing that. We have these surveys that we are aggressively trying to push out and get as many nurses to fill it out as possible. We're getting a lot of feedback from them. Nurses have said that it's easy to use. They feel that the line is very secure, it's protective. But we're definitely learning what we can do to set up the following NICUs in training them. One anecdotal point that we're getting a lot of feedback on from nurses is they're feeling more comfortable allowing the parents to hold their babies, which is an important aspect of care for both the baby, of course, and the parents. And if you're a neonatologist or NICU nurse, we're looking for these early partners to help to try out LifeBubble and work with you. So please come find me if you're working in a NICU. Thank you.
I just want to do a small plug for our internship program that we have at Chalk Children's. We have talked previously about culture of innovation and did a workshop at a previous PEDS 2040. If you are interested in trying to set up an internship program, we have a primer through the International Society for Pediatric Innovation on how to have an internship program. We had almost 70 abstracts submitted, primarily from interns, and they are going to be available on the website with the title and the name of the author, as well as contact information, if there are any mentors in the audience that want to help move those forward, those ideas forward. Thank you very much. Good job, guys.